Hare Krishna. Just a minute.
Besides green tea, so we don't have to go out of the route. I don't know.
Bhagavatamrita. I didn't specify where I start. Find out here. Six. Okay, I don't know. Here. Touch me. Six. Bhagavan. Okay. Shri Parikshitavacha. तच्च श्री भगवान कृत्वा श्रुतमप्यश्रुतं यथा अजानन्निव पप्रच्छ शोकवेगादथोद्धवम्. Shri Parikshit said, although the personality of Godhead must have heard these words, he pretended he had not. Driven by sorrow, he then inquired from Uddhava, as though ignorant, not holding Padmavati's suggestions in high esteem. Krishna chose to ignore them. He knew very well what was required of him and what the Vrajavasis wanted. But because of sharing the distress of his devotees, he seemed unaware of these things. He responded to his own discomfort by asking for Uddhava's advice. on straight from Digdarshan. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Bho Vidvad Varat Tatratya Akiladvipraya Vidbhavan Tesham Abhishtam Kim Tanme Tatayatva Vilambitam. The Supreme Lord said, O best of learned scholars, you know all the thoughts of the residents of Vraja. Please tell me without delay what it is they desire. This inquiry stems from Mother Devaki's proposal to offer the Vrajavasis whatever they want. Krishna understands that no presentation of gifts will placate, pacify, console the devotees in Vraja, since all they want from him is that he grace them with his presence. By approaching Uddhava for counsel, however, Krishna is able to free himself of the responsibility for the decision. If Uddhava advises him to go to Vrindavan, no one will be able to stop him. What first drove Krishna to inquire from Uddhava was anxiety, but now a second reason for taking his opinion has come to Krishna's mind. This is because Uddhava is an excellent counselor, a minister, and the royalty has to listen to the counsel of the ministers. So it will not be possible to stop Lord Krishna from going to Vraja. Mantri Pravarasya Yuktivachanam Vachanam Adaya Tatra Gachan San Naham Kenapi Atra Yena Asanchitapi Varayatum Nashakya. Nobody here will be able to prevent me from going, because these will be reasonable words from this excellent minister. It is with this in mind, he is asking this question. Shri Parikshit Vacha. Tachutva Bhagavad-vakyam Uddhavo Hrididuhkitaha Shanam Nishwasya Vismera Sanutatvam Jagadatam. Shri Parikshit said, having heard these words from the Lord, the despondent Uddhava was taken aback. He sighed briefly and then answered, full of remorse. In the extreme ecstasy of prema this state of affairs evoked, Uddhava's discrimination failed him. Not recognizing the intended meaning of Krishna's statement that he wanted to visit Vraja, Uddhava instead took Krishna's words at face value and thought he wanted to placate his devotees with gifts. Thus Uddhava thought that Krishna, although all-knowing and supremely merciful, wanted to continue deceiving the Vrajavasis. Uddhava was discouraged to see Krishna behaving like this with his loving devotees. Srimad Uddhava Vacha. Na Raja Rajeshwarata Vibhutir Na Divya Vastuni Chate Bhavattaha Na Kamayante Nyadapi Hakinchit Amutra Cha Prapyam Rite Bhavantam. Sriman Uddhava said, the people of Vraja don't want from you the power and wealth of emperors, nor the enjoyments found in heaven, nor anything else is obtainable in this world or the next. Te Sri Nandadaya. He is referring to Nanda Maharaj and other residents of Vraja. Avadhana prasadotra kriyatam gyapayami yat paschad vicharya kartavyam swayam eva yathochitam. Kindly favor me with your attention. Think over what I am about to say and then act as you see fit. Tadeva saprasangam vivritya bodhedamaha aveti. So, having stated the previous verse, X79, incidentally, now he begins to attempt to help Lord Krishna understand the situation. Purvam nandasya sangatya bhavata preshitani te bhushanadini drishtvo chur mitho magna shug ambudhau. Before, when the cowherds met Nanda and saw the jewels and other gifts he had sent with him, They spoke with one another, all of them immersed in an ocean of grief. The event Uddhava is narrating occurred just after Krishna killed himself. The jewelry Krishna sent was mainly meant for the women of Vraja. The older gopis headed by Mother Yashoda and the younger gopis headed by Sri Radhika. Uddhava, however, does not here disclose this confidential fact. Ahobat mahat kashtam vayam etat abhipsavaha etat prasadi yogyascha gyatah krishnena samprati. Oh, how very painful. Krishna now thinks we want such presence from him and deserve this kind of mercy. So what did they think? That is stated in text 82 and text 83. Krishna seemed to have changed his attitude towards the Vrajavasis. Previously, he would never have treated them in such an apparently uncaring way. This is our misfortune. Aho daurubhagyam ityartha. Tadasmat jivanam dhik dhik tishthet kanthe dhunapi yat nanda gopamsya dhik dhik ye tam tyaktvaitán upanayan. Therefore, damn our lives and the breath that still moves in our throats, and damn Nanda and the cowherd men. They should have left these things behind. And in affectionate Nanda, of course, would hardly have refused anything his son desired, but he should not have expected the Vrajavasis to be satisfied with Krishna's material gifts. ततस्त्वद्गमनाशां च हित्वा सह यशोदया मृतप्राया भवन्मात्रा रे nashanam mahat. Thus the residents of Vraja, including your mother Yashoda, gave up all hope of your return. Just a minute. I want to text 84. Thus the residents of Vraja, including your mother Yashoda, gave up all hope of your return. Already dead, they now refuse to eat at all. Along with Yashoda, the Vrajavasis have begun to fast to death, refusing to even touch water. Evam tvam vina tvat prasada dravyeshwapi tesham abhipsa nastiti bhava. It is implied that they have no desire for the items sent by Krishna to favor them. Without him, they have no desire for any of these. Prataparadhavannando vaktum kinchit dinatrayam ashaktotyanta shokarto vrajaprana avangatan bhavatas tatra yanoktim grahayan shapatot karai darshayan yukti chaturyam amonevam asantvayat. Nanda felt like someone who has committed a great offense, and for 3 days he was so utterly miserable he couldn't say a thing. But then to say the lives of the residents of Vraja, he induced those people to believe your departing words. With many ardent promises, Nanda skillfully used logic to prove your words true. In this way, he placated the Vrajavasis. Tarhi kinchid anishtam tatra na vrittam iti vyagrachittam bhagavantam ashvasayan aha prateti vabhyam. Then in two verses, Uddhava consoles the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose heart was agitated by the thought that I hope nothing undesirable has taken place in Vraja. To assure Krishna that his devotees in Vraja were still holding on to life, Uddhava describes in these verses how Nanda Maharaj, knowing that his responsibility was to encourage the others, pulled himself out of depression and reminded the Vrajavasis of Krishna's promise to return. Soon after killing Kamsa, Krishna had sent Nanda home from Mathura with this assurance. Yata yuyam vrajam tata, vayam cha sneha dukhkitan, gyati invo drashtumeshyamo vidhaya sukhadam sukham. Now, dear father, you should all return to Vraja. We shall come to see you, our dear relatives who suffer in separation from us, as soon as we have given some happiness to your well-wishing friends. Nanda used the best arguments he could devise to persuade the Vrajavasis that Krishna still intended to keep his words. Sri Nando Vacha. Dravyanyado brahmachikrani putra etanyatra prahino satya vakya shighram paschad agamishyatyavyam tatratyam swaprastutartham samapya. Sri Nanda said, our son is an honest person who always speaks the truth. He has first sent us these things as tokens of his love. He is sure to come back to us quickly. As soon as he finishes what he has to do in Mathura, or Nanda, Krishna will always be his son, regardless of Vasudev's claim. And Nanda believes that his son is honest. Krishna sent the gifts not as a calculated attempt to manipulate the sentiments of the Brajavasis, but simply out of love. As Krishna promised, he is certain to return. He has been delaying in Mathura for so long because of the many obligations he has to fulfill there, like removing the threat of Jarasandha. These will take a little more time to complete, and then he will come back home to Vraja. Satvatitra Vishwasya Sarve Saralamanasa Bhavat Pritim Samalochya Lankaran Dadhur Atmasu. The residents of Vraja, all simple-hearted people, trusted Nanda's words. Thinking about your loving affection, they accepted the jewelry and put it on their bodies. The Vrajavasis felt no special pleasure in adorning their bodies with this jewelry, but they did it anyway to satisfy Krishna. It was not in their nature to doubt other people's motives, and they found it especially hard to distrust Krishna. एतत् अलंकार धारणेन कृष्णस्य हर्षो भविष्यति इति पर्यालोच्य इत्यर्थः. They consider that if we put on these ornaments, Krishna will be delighted. Atmasu deheshu dadhure. They simply put it on their bodies. Natu antarhri sukham prapatu ityartham. They did not experience happiness within their hearts. Shri Krishnottara samagatya prasada dravya sangraha vikshya palakan asman nitaram kripayishyati. They thought when Shri Krishna returns, he will see how we have followed his order by accepting these remnants of his enjoyment. Then he will show us special mercy. So here their intention behind wearing those ornaments is being disclosed. The Vrajavasis consider themselves already recipients of Krishna's mercy, but they know that his mercy can always increase. The more they please him by their exclusive surrender, the more he will favor them. Therefore, just to please Krishna, they feign happiness even in their greatest misery. While carrying out his instructions. Nijagya palanena. Bhavan swayam agatpatu yam sandesham samarpyamam prahino tena te sarve babhuvur nihataiva. But you never came. You sent me instead. And when they heard the message you had sent with me, they almost died from disappointment. Uddhava complains that although the Vraja devotees acted with simple honesty, Krishna reciprocated in a completely contrary way. To send through Uddhava a message telling the Vrajavasis to be satisfied with meditating on him as the all-pervading super soul was nothing less than a cruel deception. In the message Uddhava read, Krishna told them, Bhavatinam yogo me nahi sarvatmana kvachit yatha bhutani bhuteshu kham vayu vagnir jalam mahi tatha chaham manah prana buddhindriya gunashraya. You are never actually separated from me, for I am the soul of all creation. Just as the elements of nature, ether, air, fire, water, and earth are present in every created thing, so I am present within everyone's mind, life air, intelligence, and senses, and also within the physical elements and the modes of material nature. This message from Krishna shattered the Vrajavasis' hope of his returning. Tathadash. Yeah, why is it Drishti? It appears as Drishtva here. Okay, now let me read it like this. Tatha Drishtya Maya Tatra Bhavato Gamanam Dhruvam Pratigyaya Prayatnatan Jivayatva Samagatam. Seeing them so despondent, I made every effort to keep them alive by promising you would surely come back. Then I returned here. I promised them, certainly I will bring the Supreme Personality of Godhead here. Svat praptayetha sanyasta samasta vishayashraya prapur yadrigavastham te tam prichaitam nijagrajam. To attain you, these devotees then renounced all enjoyment of the senses and all material shelter. Please ask your elder brother here what state they are in. And after all this, Krishna only sent Balaram. Instead of going to Vraja himself. Uddhava is loath to describe the effect upon the Vrajavasis of Krishna's failure to visit them again, because hearing it will be too painful for Krishna himself and everyone else present. After Uddhava's visit to Vraja, the residents totally gave up gratifying their senses and abandoned their homes to wander the forests. While describing Lord Balaram's trip to Gokula, the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam says, Krishne Kamalapatrakshi Sanyasta Kilaradhasaha. The Vrajavasis renounced all material possessions for the sake of the lotus-eyed Krishna. When Uddhava had come to Vrindavan earlier, he had seen the gopis headed by Shri Radhika in a different state, happy and decorated with fine jewelry, the same ornaments Nanda had brought back from Mathura. The 10th canto describes what Uddhava saw upon arriving in Braja. Ta dipati tair manibhir vireju rajju vikarshad bhujakankana sraja chalannitam vastanaha rakundala kushat Kapola Aruna Kunkumanana, pulling on the churning ropes with bangle arms. The women of Braja shone with the splendor of their jewels, which reflected the light of the lamps. Their hips, breasts, and necklaces moved about, and their faces, anointed with reddish kunkuma, glowed radiantly, the luster of their earrings reflecting from their cheeks. Udgayatinam Aravindalochanam Vrajangananam Divamasprishad Dhvani Dadnashcha Nirmanthana Shabda Mishrito Nirasyate Yena Dishama Mangalam. As the ladies of Vraja loudly sang the glories of lotus-eyed Krishna, their songs blended with the sound of their churning, ascended to the sky and did away with all inauspiciousness in every direction. Upon hearing Uddhava's message, however, the mood of the Vrajavasis changed. Their hope for Krishna's return was destroyed, and they became more unhappy than before Nanda had consoled them. Uddhava suggests that Krishna can ask Balram about the current state of the Vrajavasis, which Balram has seen with his own eyes. Even if you doubt my words, Uddhava implies, surely you'll believe your elder brother. Tadvicheda mahadukha shankaya mlapitani sa devaki bhishmajadi nam mukhan yavanatanyatha sharad dasrani sasneham vilokyam mrudalashaya masi karpara patrani vyagro ya chata sangyaya. Parikshit continued. From the dread of the great pain of separation from Krishna, the faces of the ladies like Devaki and Rukmini were pale, downcast, and full of tears. Looking at those women affectionately, gentle-hearted Krishna quickly gestured for an ink pot and paper. Tata Shri Gopi Janaika Priyo Bhagavan Kimakarot. Then what did the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the only one dear to the divine Gopas and Gopis, do? Tada Hata Diti Chaturbhi. That is stated in 4 verses beginning with this verse, text 93. Krishna was so shaken by Uddhava's statements that he was unable to speak. He could make known his desire for pen and paper only by gesturing. But if Krishna was so anxious about the Vrajavasis, why did he not go to Vrindavan at once? Because Krishna is soft-hearted, incapable of making his devotees suffer. He was reluctant to leave Mother Devaki and his other beloved devotees who were in Dwaraka. All of this is straight taken from Sanatana Goswami. Prastutartham samadhaya tratyana ashvasya bandhava eshoham magata praya iti janita matpriya evam ashvasanam prema patram preshayitum vraje swahaste naiva likhitam tachaggadha pratitaye. Krishna meant to strengthen the faith of his Vraja devotees by sending them a letter filled with loving sentiments and written by his own hand. My dear friends, please know that as soon as I settle the duties before me and satisfy my relatives here, I will return in no time. I will be there. Why did he beg them to wait? To strengthen their faith. Tasyehitam abhipretya praptotyantartimudhava Vrajavasim manobhidyo bravitsa shapatam nubuddha. Uddhava surmised what Krishna was about to do and was therefore greatly distressed. Knowing the inner hearts of the Vrajavasis, he cried and begged Krishna to reconsider his plans. Uddhava Vacha. Prabho sunniranitam idam padiya padabja yugasya tatra shubha prayanam na vinasya jeeved brajah kathanchin nacha kinchid ichhe. Sriman Uddhava said, O Master, please turn your attention to this. Unless your 2 lotus feet make a blessed journey to Vraja, there is no way to assure that your people of Vraja will survive. Those people want nothing but your lotus feet. Asyeti anena antaryame rupata anya rupata api sarva nirakrita. In other words, he's saying that you cannot satisfy them by manifesting yourself as a super soul or in any other form. You yourself have to be there with your own lotus feet in your original form as Sri Krishna. A mere letter will not save the Vrajavasis from destruction. They do not want a letter from Krishna, they want Krishna himself. Astya Jivet Vrajaha. Vraja belongs to Krishna alone. They are living for Krishna alone. The devotees living in Vraja recognize as worshipable only Krishna, not the super soul or any other form of God. Aradhyo Vrajeshatanaya. Shrivan Aradhyo Vrajeshatanaya. For them, he alone is worshipable, the son of the king of Vraja. Padmavati and Rohini quarrel. She Parikshitu Vacha. Kumatih Kamsa Mataha Sahasam Dhunvati Shiraha. Hum Devaki Nirbuddhe Buddham Mayadhuna. Sri Parikshit said, the befuddled mother of Kamsa laughed at this, shook her head and burst out, Aha, aha, foolish Devaki, now I understand. I understand everything. Padmavati laughed to belittle Uddhava's words and uttered hum to show that she was thinking deeply and was unhappy. Dipsa both Gardhya Suchare. It is repeated hum twice to indicate that she had thought about it in great detail. Chiram Gorasadanena Yantritasyodhavasya te Sahayatvat Sutam Gopa Nayayitva Punarvane. With the help of your Uddhava, whom the cowherds have long controlled by gifts of milk goods, these cowherds want to bring Krishna back to the forest. Bhishane Durgame Dushta Sattva Jushte Sakantake Samrakshayitum Icchanti Dhurta Pashuganan Nijan. In that dangerous forest, hard to travel and full of thorns and vicious beasts, those good for nothings want to make him tend their cows. It is true that Uddhava had stayed in Vrindavan much longer than needed to deliver Krishna's message. It's confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Uvasa Katichin Masan Gopinam Vinudan Shuchaha Krishna Leela Katham Gayan Ramaya Masa Gokulam. Uddhava stayed there several months, dispelling the gopis' sorrow by chanting the topics of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Thus he brought joy to all the people of Gokula. Padmavati here accuses Nanda and the other Brajavasis of enticing Uddhava to prolong his stay by filling him with buttermilk and other milk products. She calls the Brajavasis scoundrels for wanting to use someone else's son for dangerous work in a forest full of tigers, lions, and other wild animals. She Parikshita Vacha. Tatshutva kutsitam vakyam shakta sodhu manjasa. Yashodayah Vyasakhi Rama Mataha Gopita. Parikshit said, Balaram's mother Rohini, Yashoda's friend, couldn't tolerate hearing these insults. Angrily she replied, she Rohini Vacha. Ah, Kamsamatah Kimmayam Gorakshayam Niyujyate Chanam Matram Chitatratyayir Adrishtesminna Jivyate. She Rohini said, Indeed, dear mother of Kamsa, will they just engage him in caring for cows? Unless the devotees there see him, they can't stay alive a single moment. Iti sakrotha sambodhane. She was quite angry. Rohini Devi. Vrikshadupistanta rite kadachit dasmin sati syat sahacharinam bhrisham Shri Krishna Krishneti Mahapluta Sware Rahvana Bhangya Kulata Sarodhana. O virtuous lady, if trees or other obstacles block Krishna from sight even briefly, his companions at once shed tears and call in anxious, drawn-out voices, Shri Krishna, Krishna, Taddeva Prapanchayati. So this and the next verse are elaborations of what she had stated earlier. That they can't live without Krishna. Vrajasthanam tva hareva kala ratrir bhave dekal navo yugam cha ravim rajo vatma cha pasyatam muhur dasha chakachin muralim chishinvatam. For those who live in Vraja, daytime is like the black night at the end of the universe. And the blink of an eye, a millennium. In such a state, they look at the sun and the trails of dust on the road again and again and listen for the sound of the flute. Oh, virtuous lady, note this. This is sarcastic. Rohini is calling Padmavati a virtuous lady. Sati is sarcastic because everyone knows that her virtue was spoiled by the demon Drumila. She therefore should not be so bold as to present herself as an authority on how to serve Krishna. Why does she imagine? Why does she imagine that the Vrajavasis want to make Krishna constantly slave for them in the distant forests? The Vrajavasis rather want to see Krishna all the time. When he leaves them in the mornings to tend his cows in the forest, time passes for them slowly and painfully, especially for Sri Radhika and the other young gopis. In the gopis' own words, Atati yad bhavan ahni kananam. Trutir yugayate Twama Pashyatam Kutilakuntalam Srimukham Chate Jada Udikshatam Pakshmakrit Dasham. When you go off to the forest during the day, a tiny fraction of a second becomes like a millennium for us because we cannot see you. And even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, which were fashioned by the foolish creator. Even the boys headed by Sridhama, who accompany Krishna and watching the cows, become anxious when Krishna disappears momentarily behind a tree or any other distraction. Vrajavasi is waiting back in Nanda Maharaj's village, glance frequently up at the sun to see whether it is time for Krishna to come home. Straight from they look down the road on the horizon to see if dust is being raised by the returning cows. When from time to time they hear a few notes from Krishna's distant flute, the Vrajavasis are driven almost to insanity, realizing that for hours he will not return. How therefore can Padmavati reason that the Vrajavasis will want to exploit Krishna by keeping him working constantly in the forest? There's no question of him. Ayam hi tattad vipineshu kautukad vihartu kama pashu sankha sangata vayasya vargai sahasarvato pittum prayati nityam swayamagrajanvitah. Every day, Krishna takes his older brother with him and goes out into the various forests, eager to enjoy with his herds of cows and wander about in the company of his many friends. Brajadha. Okay. Sanatana Goswami has noted. Anutarhi katham ayam gas tatra rakshat tatraha ayamati panchabhihi. Then in that case, why was he protecting these cows? Why was he taking care of these cows? Anticipating this, she speaks 5 verses beginning with the current verse 106. Rajadam has many attractive forests in which Krishna loves to play with his friends. His favorite among these forests is Vrindavan, forest of Shri Vrindadevi, the original ruler of Braja. Every day, Krishna is eager to go out into the forest where he enjoys ever fresh pastimes. The daily adventures of Krishna, Balram, and their friends are an endless festival of wonderful sights and surprises. Yatra atimattambu vihangamala kulikratalya balivibhramena vichalitanam kamalotpalanam saramsi gandhair vilasajjalani. In those forests are lakes with sparkling water where Kamala and Utpala lotuses spread their fragrance. The lotuses tremble from the movements of swarms of bees stirred up by rows of excited water birds. Tadhetutvena vipinanyeva varnayati yatreti chaturbhi. Then she speaks 4 verses beginning with the current verse while describing the forests. Because the forests are so attractive, therefore Krishna goes there. Tatha mahashcharya vichitrataamayi kalindaja sa vrajabhumi sangini tatha vidha vindhyan nagadi sambhava parashchanadyo vilasanti yatracha. And in those forests flows the river Yamuna, the dearmost companion of the land of Vraja. The picturesque splendor of that river, the daughter of Kalinda, astonishes the mind. And besides her, Vrajabhumi glistens with other rivers, the offspring of hills like the Vindhyas. The glorious Yamuna flows in the midst of Vrajabhumi. And during Krishna's manifest presence, some of her branches flowed in parts untouched by her today. Thus, many of the forests of Krishna's land were graced by Sri Yamuna's water and are grassy, tree-lined banks. Other splendid rivers like the Manasi Ganga also passed through Vrajabhumi. Tatam komala valukachitam ramyam sadanutana shadvalavratam swabhavikadvesha visarjanollasan manodgyananam mrigapakshi sankulam. The beautiful shores of those rivers are always heaped with soft sand covered by newly grown grass. To those shores come many different kinds of charming animals and birds who put their natural enmity aside. So much for Padmavati's harsh description of the forests of Vraja as impenetrable, terrifying places full of beasts of prey and difficult for the grazing of cows. So in this way, she is pointing out that all of these places are the causes for Krishna's fun and happiness in sporting there. Ditya pushpa phala phalla pallava vali bharanam vritalata gulmai bhushitam madak alapiko kila shreni naditam ajastuti patram. Trees, vines, and creepers further decorate the shores, bowing down with the weight of splendid flowers, fruits, and leaves. The shores resound with the calls of maddened peacocks and cuckoos, and those shores receive praise even from Lord Brahma. After being defeated in trying to output Krishna, Brahma offered this glorification of the forests of Braja. Tad bhuri bhagyam ihajanma kim apyatavyam yad gokulepi katamanghri rajo bhishekam yad jivitam tun nikhilam bhagavan mukundas twadyapi yad pada rajas shrutim rigyameva. My greatest possible good fortune would be to take any birth whatsoever in this forest of Gokula and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Mukunda, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. Yes, still being searched for. They're only being searched for, they haven't found it yet. Anyway, that comes elsewhere. Vrindaranye vrajabhuvi gavam tatra govardhane va naste himsa harana rahite rakshakasyapyapeksha gavo gatvo shasivipinatas tamahishyadi yukta swairam bhukva sajalayavasam sayamayanti vasam. Vrindavan forest, Govardhan hill, and the whole area of Braja are free from violence and theft. So one need not bother to watch one's cows. The cows simply go out into the forest in the morning with the other domestic animals like the buffaloes, eat grass and drink water as they like, and then in the evening come home. Tathapi gavam rakshanena dukkha dush pariharameva tatra havrinde. Still, taking care of the cows is unavoidably distressful. Regarding that, he speaks this verse. Tending cows is difficult work even in pleasant surroundings, but in Braja, the labor of herding turns into play. Krishna and his friends effortlessly cared for many cows and also other domestic animals, including buffaloes and goats. Tatra tasyam gavam rakshakasyapi apeksha naaste. In Vrajabhumi, Nandishwara and other places, there is actually no need for a person to take care of the cows. Kutaha? How come? Himsra vyaghradi bhihi haranam cha chauradi bhihi tabhyam rahite. Because there are no violent creatures like tigers. There are no thieves and so on. Tarhi buddhihina pashavo jivantunam tatraha gavaiti. So then, how do these creatures live without proper consciousness? That is spelled out here. They simply go about their life. From the early morning, they take their grass and so on. Tato gorakshana dukkham tatra nastyaveti bhava. The implication is there is no distress when it comes to taking care of the cows there. Adishabdena ajah. There were goats also. This is being brought out in the 10th canto. Krishna and his friends effortlessly cared for many cows and also other domestic animals, including buffaloes and goats. Vida sakteshu gopeshu tadgavo duracharini swairam charantyo vivishus trina lobhena gahvaram ajagavo mahishyaschan nirvishantyo vanadvanam. While the cowherd boys were completely absorbed in playing, their cows wandered far away. The cows hungered for more grass, and with no one to watch them, they entered a dense forest. The goats, cows, and buffaloes passed from one part of the forest to another. Because all the sacred spots of Raja are under the special protection of demigods and other servants of Sri Radha Krishna, evil influences can never prevail. For example, the village of Nanda Maharaj is protected by Lord Shiva in the form of Nandishwara. Lord Shiva begged for the service of guarding Krishna's home and showed his gratitude for the appointment by giving the blessing that Nandishwara hill and Nandagram and its peak would not be attacked by Rakshasas. Many followers of Kamsa were able to harass the cohorts of Braja and try in various ways to kill Krishna and Balaram, but that happened only by the arrangement of Krishna's Yogamaya to enhance the pleasure of Krishna in his pastimes with his devotees. None of these would be violators of the peace of Vraja, would cause any real harm other than their own deaths. In modern times, criminals and various materialistic influences seem to have infiltrated Sri Vrajadham, but that is only a superficial appearance to our unpurified eyes. Yogamaya still protects the Dham from invasion by Krishna's enemies. Materialistic persons may briefly come and go on the thin surface by which Maya covers the Dham from unworthy eyes. They may even construct permanent commercial buildings and roads, but the actual eternal abode remains untouched by their transient, temporary interference. To the pure devotees who come to reside in Vrindavan Dham, the same Yogamaya grants the vision by which they can see the divine truth. These two paragraphs are from Gopi Prabhu himself. Okay, so go on. Vriddho vacha, Hare baleti vachale, tat kathante gavadaya, adhuna rakshaka bhavan nashta iti nishamyate. Elderly Padmavati said, "You child, you are too free with your words. If what you say is true, then why do we hear that the cows and other animals in Braja are now in danger of dying because no one is taking care of them?" Actually, the cows, bulls, and calves of Braja needed no caretaker. The center paragraph is from Gopi Pranam. Rather, they needed Krishna. They suffered not from material neglect, but from the ecstasy of separation. They appeared in danger of dying, but even that appearance was false because Vipralamba Bhava is a cause not of death, but of the highest perfection of life, achieved only by the most intelligent and competent of those who practice spiritual disciplines. The cows of Vraja were in fact not the dumb, helpless creatures they seemed. Padmavati, however, is as usual following her strange style of logic to prove her own understanding of Krishna, her own misunderstanding. Balaram appeals to Krishna to save Vraja. Shri Parikshitavacha, Srimad Gopala Devastat Srutva Sambhranti Yantritaha Jatantastapata Shushyan Mukhabja Shankaya Kulaha. Shri Parikshit said, having heard all this, the blessed Lord Gopal felt overwrought with worry for his devotees. Scorching anxiety dried up his lotus face. He was filled with dread. Tad vridha vakyam shatva sambhrantya sambhramena yantritaha piditaha san baladevasya mukham alokayamasa iti dvabhyam anvayam. We heard the words of that elderly lady, Padmavati, tormented by a state of frenzy, a state of delusion. The Lord looked up at the face of Lord Baladev. Tatra hetu. The cause for that is now set out. Prathama Pramavarkalina Vrajavrittanta Vedinaha Mukham Malokayamasa Baladevasya Sashukam. He glanced at the face of Baladev, who knew all the tidings of Braja, both past and present, and saw that it was covered with tears. Baladev, Krishna's older brother, was a constant witness to Krishna's pastimes, first in Vrindavan and then in Mathura and Dwaraka. Krishna trusted Baladev to be a sober judge of facts. So when Krishna saw the face of Baladev, his own anxiety only increased. So Krishna was already apprehensive, but when he saw that Baladev was in distress, then he also became distressed. Rohini Nandano Bhatur Bhavam Buddha Smaran Vrajam Swadhairya Rakshana Shakta Prarudan Nabravit Putam. Baladev, the son of Rohini, was unable to keep his composure. Remembering Vraja and understanding his brother's mood, he began crying without control. But then he managed to speak distinctly. Baladeva Vacha. Gavam Kevat Katha Krishna Tetepi Bhavatah Priya Mriga Vihanga Bhandira Kadamba Dhyaschapadapah. See, Baladev said, why speak only about the cows, dear Krishna? All the animals in Vraja are your beloved friends, and so also are the birds and the trees like the Bhandira and the Kadamba. Gavamityanena Mahishyadayopi Lakshyante Gramya Pashushu Gavam Pradhanya. Cows. The cows here, this expression, it includes buffaloes and so on, because cows are the most important of the domestic animals in the village. Latani Punja Punjami Shadvalanyapi Jivan Bhavatyevarpayamasu Shinascha Sarito Drayaha. The grass, the creepers, the lush bushes have all dedicated their lives to you. Now they are all wasting away, and so too are the rivers and mountains. In the agony of Pralamba, the forest deer and the other wild animals in Braja had all become emaciated. And so had the birds like the peacocks, and even the inanimate rivers like the Yamuna and mountains like Govardhan. If these residents of Vraja were on the verge of death, then what to speak of the cows, bulls, and calves Lord Krishna used to herd? Paramte Satyavakyatah Jata Shayaiva Jivanti Neksha Shrotum Matah Param. Some of the people, dear brother, live only on the hope that your promises were true. Better you not ask to hear more news than this. This statement has a sober implication that many residents of Vraja, no longer able to tolerate separation from Krishna, had already left their bodies. In their own swarupas, they had gone to join Krishna in his pastimes in Dwaraka or elsewhere. That is coming from Sri Vidvan. Others kept themselves alive in Vraja, sustaining themselves by remembering Krishna and transcendently perceiving his eternal unmanifest pastimes. More than once, Krishna had promised the Vrajavasis he would return to them soon. Ayasya 10.41.17. Iti Rangabhumuchan Andam Prati, that he had said, I will come. When he had arrived at Madhupuri, गोकुलात् मधुपुर्या गमन समये and Yatin wo drashtum eshyamah 10.45.23 Rangabhumo cha Nandam Prati. He had said this to Nanda Maharaj. So he did tell them that he would come back soon. Therefore, some of them continued to expect him even after others had lost all hope. Lord Balram asked Krishna not to inquire further into news of Braja. It would be too painful for the devotees present to hear. Kintu tanim api bhavan yadi tan nanukampate yama eva tada sarvan vegenanu grahishyati. I can only tell you that if you don't show your kindness to them soon, Yamaraj will soon show them his. Tan avashishtan vrajavasinah yama eva anugrahishyati ti maranena bandhu yoga shoka dukkha apagama. The remaining Vrajavasis are going to die. Yama will bestow his mercy upon them. Because when you die, you, along with death, even the distress and lamentation because of separation from one's friends and relatives, all of that also goes away. Okay, I'll stop with this. Let me make a note. One point 6.127. All right. Any questions? All right. Manchakal Putrubyasya Prapasindubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.